Aquino, you want to go ahead and welcome everyone?
Good morning, CRS members and designees and realtor friends. Thank you so much for attending our first Mastermind 808 for 2022. I'm Aquino Hayakawa, your state president for CRS. Today, we have an exciting lineup. We have G. Dunsten doing a reboot for business. He's going to be giving us a 20-minute training. And then to do this event, we have two sponsors. And I would like to introduce our first sponsor, Oscar Libid. Unfortunately, Oscar cannot be with us today, but if you go to the link that Crystal will be dropping in the chat box and you fill out the contact us online, and then, pardon me, if you have any questions on home inspection, send him a message. Then you know what happens? He's going to send you a $10 Starbucks gift card. How amazing is that? I was like, Oscar, thank you so much. I use Oscar on my home inspections and my clients have been very happy. We also have Tim O'Leary with Guaranteed Rate. Thank you so much for sponsoring us, Tim. And to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having it. It's always a pleasure to be working, especially with this group. I was talking with Crystal earlier. This group is highly qualified, and you guys just do such quality work, and you guys make a great presence in Honolulu. What I wanted to share with you guys today, first of all, I wanted to say today's topic is special to me. It's awesome. I've been in a mastermind group for 27 years, believe it or not, designed after Ben Franklin as a junto. And then most importantly, we want to extend a huge mahalo to all of the support that you've shown Guaranteed Rate. Last year, we were able to do just shy of 1.2 billion in loans. 65% of that was purchase business. So we're very conscious because our community of the real estate community is very important to it. That's why we sponsor these events. This is why we like being connected with you guys, because you support us. And what I just want to pass on to you is that we've grown our market share, meaning we've grown our group, both on this island as well as the other islands. So if you have property on the other islands, we have loan officers to help you there as well. What I can share with you is that we're very innovative. Being a number 4 national lender, we are innovative, meaning we're working directly with the 2 agencies, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, to bring new loan programs. So be on the lookout for that, as well as the investors that we work out for jumbo clients and second home purchases and investment property. So again, we're very, very grateful, very thankful, and we look forward to helping you guys and continue our relationship as sponsors. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Tim. And thank you so much, Guaranteed Rate. We always love working with you too. Thank you. Next, we have our guest speaker today, G. Dunsten. Yay, G. I had the honor of meeting G back in 2017 at a national celebration event. G. Dunsten, a quick intro. G is nationally recognized as a residential sales and marketing specialist. He is currently an associate broker with Long and Foster in Ocean City, Maryland. So G, you look so warm with your vest. I'm in a t-shirt and you look very warm.
It's very cold here, I can tell you.
Okay, so you've been a certified CRS instructor for over 25 years. Wow. Thank you so much for your contribution. And the exciting thing that I did not know until today or earlier was that you were our 2001 national president for CRS.
Yes,
what an honor to have you.
It was very nice. It was a wonderful experience.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so he will be teaching today's mastermind, and he is also teaching our upcoming course on January 27th and 28th. So please join me in welcoming G. Dunsten.
Thank you. Okay. Well, thank you all for being here today, and it's always just a wonderful experience for me. With all of you are some of the best since we ever have is coming from out of your wonderful state. So we're going to talk a little bit, and we're going to try to deliver an hour program in half the time, And so the first thing we're going to want to talk about here is where are we now? Where are we now? And I mean, where are we? What's going on? I mean, we thought, I don't know about you all, but I think that 2021, I thought that was the nastiest time that I've had in probably 25 or 30 years. And it sounds as though the challenge is going to be just as much, if not more, according to some of the gurus, that we're going to be in an even more challenging year for this year. And so the first thing that we're talking about today is attitude is everything. It's everything to you and it is to me. And we know today that if it's possible that raising market rates will slow the housing market, or that the Fed might raise rates sooner than expected due to reasons of inflation and all those other things. But we just want to make sure that, I believe one thing is certain, and that's the inventory will be the tail. And what I'm hearing right now, folks, is that the shortage of inventory right now of last year was the lowest in 45 years. And it appears that we will have even less inventory this year. And so what I want you to think about first is, if we look at an iceberg, how much do we see in an iceberg? We've all heard this at one time or another, I'm sure, and that is that what we see above the surface is only a small percentage of what remains. And we all have seen this, and we all know that. But what I want you to think about is the same thing holds true with us and the people that we deal with, and whether or not we create a focus just on above the sea level or what's going on below. And when we say that, we want to make sure that we are looking at it from that point of view. What we see above, wearing a real estate hat, is knowledge and skills. We know how important it is to have knowledge of what's going on in the marketplace. We know we have to have good skills to be able to get the job done. Many of you today have had buyers that you found the house, but somebody else were willing to pay another $250,000, which we just saw that happen to somebody above what everybody else was willing to pay. And again, we were third in the challenge. So what I want you to be thinking about is your attitude. We see today that the majority of the people who are in real estate are so beat up that their attitude is not good. It's not good at all, because we're wore out. The buyers you said, I think this is the one that we ought to get. And then for the third time, you didn't get it for them. And now they're mad at you and it's your fault, and so on and so forth. So in other words, what I want you to think about is the impact and the attitude. Let's look at these 6 words. Values. What are your values and your core values? And how are you treating and handling the people? And what are your standards? What will you do and what will you not do? And what will you allow them to do and not do as best you can? What type of judgments? Because today it's different. Real estate is starting this last year is a whole new difference, a whole new game. And motives and beliefs and all of those ethics and so forth are being tried all the time, because right now we see a high percentage of people in real estate that are just trying to stay alive and make the payments on their homes and having food for their family. And so what we want to make sure of is what makes your life 100%. And if we look at the alphabet as a value equals to in the alphabetical order, if we look at that, what we see is if we look at the year of the word skills, and we just use the numbers close to what that spells out, is 82% is important to your skills when you're working and representing someone, whether it's a seller or buyer. However, knowledge is 96%, because we have to have skill, but more importantly, we have to have the knowledge to be able to use the skills. But the one that is 100% isn't there yet still. It's hard work helps us get maybe a little bit more, but does it enable we and our client to end the package? Or is it the last one? And so what we want you to think about is all four of these words are part of the package. But without the last one, we are down in a lower level that we need to be able to get everything done appropriately. So the can-do attitude has been eroded with most of us, because every day we're getting beat up. Things are, people are so upset with each other. Everybody's walking around with a chip on their shoulder. And so what I want you to think about is how can we change our attitude? So you can do everything, but not all at once. You can do everything if it's important enough for you to do. So let's think about what's most important. You can do everything, but you may not be the best at everything. We know that. Some of us are way better on some parts of in everything than others. And we could do everything, but there will be limitations. And everything, but you'll need help. And so it's important that we understand this. And here's just a number of quick quotes. And if any of you want a couple of I told Crystal, I want you to all have all these slides. So hopefully this will be a benefit for you. But a positive thought is the seeds of positive results. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. But don't complain. There's somebody in my office that right now, she is in such a funk. If you look at her face, she looks like she was weaned on a pickle and stuck in a pucker. I mean, it's just sad. The most significant change in a person's life is the change of their attitude. Right attitudes produce right actions. It's so important that we look at all of these. It's so important that we look at every piece of these. We've all heard about the glass is half full or the glass is half empty, but it depends upon who's holding the glass and what we see. It's better than everything. But we got to find it. It doesn't necessarily fall into our lap. And positive attitude is not a destination, it's just a way of life. And so getting up each and every day and say, thank the Lord that I'm here, first and foremost. And then I'm living in a wonderful community and a loving place, and I have other people that I have to be able to work with. So difference between successful people and other, and their background and all of that comes in jumps and bumps and all kinds of different things. So it's important that some of these quotes, not all of them, but what I hope before the time we're done here is that you're going to take a couple of these and maybe, just maybe, have these and put them on a wall or put it on your dashboard. Because I think today we need to be able to have something that says, here's positive attitude. I can't shake everything, but I can certainly say certain things that will have a positivity, because it's our responsibility to help everybody. So the solutions come in different parts as well. And the P square is pause and prepare. A lot of us are racing into the next appointment, or we are side, and then all of a sudden we have to get something done quickly. Vent to someone when you're frustrated, and have somebody that you care about them and they share about you, and not be afraid to dump your bucket with them, and let them dump the bucket with you, and give us a redirection, and be prepared to shift your strategies. We have all different types of strategies. We have all different types of things. And quite frankly, today, my perception, which is my reality, is that most of the strategies that we were taught representing buyers or representing sellers are gone. Those things are not working any longer. And so if we look at the F word, it's flexibility. It's our responsibility to make the changes that the world and the communities and the people that you're dealing with are playing a different deal, or it's a different game. And so what I want you to be thinking about is stop what you've been doing, think about what needs to be changed, and some of the things that we were doing to protect the buyer by having so many things in a contract so that if anything doesn't go to their liking, they can bail. Or a seller can take you, it says, you know, we can fire you in a day if we're not happy with the way things are going. And all of those types of things, that will not work today. It worked 3 years ago, not today. And so if we look at households today who own property, $36.8 trillion is what is owner-occupied real estate today in the United States of America. And 11.5 trillion in debt, and the remaining another 25 trillion is equity. There is more value to real estate today than on most places in the United States ever before. And if we look at the average across the pond here, in all 50 states, the level of equity apparently at the end of the third quarter of 2021 is $294,000 per house. And you know it's even more because of what you're paying for homes in almost every part on every island where you serve. And so it is a powerful thing, but we need to understand and expect what 2022 is going to take for us to get a bigger bite of the pie, because the pie is going to be equal or smaller than it was last year. And so the bad news is that listings are at record lows. And if we look statistically of the inventory across the entire country, look at where you are. What percentage of inventory has happened to yours? It's 45% less than it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And they're saying it's going to be less still. And so the significance, ladies and gentlemen, is that yes, we are going to see probably a mortgage projections. And if you're not up to speed, then write this down, making sure that you take this and then start going on Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Mortgage Bankers Association, and the National Association of Realtors. Each of those groups have over 25 people that work for them who are economic types who study all of what's taking place with mortgage rates. And this is on, they get together, each of those four, every 90 days, and they make projections of what 30-year fixed rate residential mortgages are going to be for the next 4 quarters. And so this came out the second week of December. And you can see that they do not necessarily all agree with each other, but it seems as though we are going to see an interest rate of a little bit higher, about 0.5%, than it was last year and the year before, which is still some of the lowest that is there. So yes, the purchasing power of our clients in some cases is going to be shrunk a little bit, but it's not going to break the bank from most of the people that we're dealing with. So the people who are crying about that are not in the game. But what is most important is just what we've been living. We're looking at all of these types of things. And PSD comes in a variety of areas: political, racial tension, isolation, real estate craziness, that the new strategies, what are they like, and how are we going to be willing to lose another house, and how can we eliminate that? And uncertainty for the future. All are a battle that you and I have to look at and are challenged with every morning that you get out of bed and you get into moving enough. And most of this is not necessarily our doing, but fear is taking you more and more of a bigger time than we can see Americans in the last 40 years. And so what I want you to make sure is that we have to have some new strategies. And the strategy is playing a game. And today are you willing to talk to a buyer, and you have to be more direct than ever before. And I want to challenge you to be able to find out, would they be willing to lose the house that they are finding right now? Or will they do more than ever they would have considered before to get that house? And what are you prepared for? What are the things that you can give them some choices? And so if we look at the buyer, the home buyer today, and you're representing the buyer side, let me explain the current market, the frenzy that is taking place. And you know it, and I know it. We have coming soon in Maryland now. And we get people stacked up that we did for 5 days of coming soon. We put a property on the market 36 hours ago, and we've had 15 offers already. And we've had 5 of the offers at least 5 to 10% more than what we're asking that people will pay, with no worry about the appraisals and all these other things. So there are lots of issues that you have to think about, but looking for the deal. Your job is to looking for the deal. And if they can't go with what you are suggesting, that a lot of those things in the past that were to protect them, now to get the house, they might have to say, I'm not going to have an appraisal. And maybe the appraisal is not going to be large enough. And maybe I have to worry about that. But to get this, maybe that's the thing that prevents you from getting the house, to getting the house. Because if they can't play the game the way you want it, you need to tell them that I can't help you, instead of going into a hole knowing full that they're going to lose. And I know that this sounds tough, and I know that this comes off maybe of being mean, and that's not what this is about. This is about something that we have never dealt with in the past. And like we said already, 2022 is going to be work even harder than it was before if what they're talking about is true. And so think of it this way. How many of you knew you and or your friends were so concerned that we were not going to have any toilet paper that we went nuts? And then we went in and we bought so many rolls of paper, we might still have some from a year and a half ago. Why? Because we were so worried that what we were going to do if we didn't have the type of document that we needed to satisfy that challenge. And it's the same thing now, kids. So first rule is you can explain what took place in 2021. This is where the big changes came. And what we want to make sure is that you can ask them, do they want to play? And if they are in the fast market, will they be allowed to do these things? Because that's what this is about. And I think we got to be direct. We need to be as important as we can, because now it's changing. And you need to start the conversation by saying, we're in a new world for real estate right now. And it is a whole lot tougher than it has ever been in the history of residential real estate over 100 years. And let's make sure that we spend the quietness in terms of talking about this, but making sure that we are preparing them for the things that they need to be able to give up. And then when we turn and we send to the seller, we have the same challenges, because the sellers are used to being in control as well. But it's done differently today because everything has to be on the table. So you need to be able to win the game and to get the people to pay more. It's their responsibility to have an appraisal already done or a home inspection, having all of those things there. If it's a septic system or a sewer test or all of those types of things, we need to have them done. The seller needs to be all prepared to do all of these different things that the buyer's responsibility was before. So that's a table turn. But to do that, so that at least the buyer's agent has ability to say, well, we already have some of this already, as opposed to saying, we'll pay this or we'll pay that if we can get these things to our satisfaction. Because as we all know, if we're doing that, we're not going to be in the game, because there's somebody there saying, I have cash in a bag. We're going to spend as much as we want. We haven't got a house. We've been trying to get the right house for the last 4 months or the last year, and we're going to buy this house even if we're going to go broke. So these are the types of things that we as buyers got, and some of us provided a few of these things representing the seller, but never like this before. And so even providing the utilities to let them know what the costs are to run the place as well. And by doing these things and getting all this done before the first showing, so it's all there when the people start to go through, is going to separate the herd of buyers and buyers agents. And what you're going to end up with are the people that are most serious. And if we play the game properly, we're going to get the full price, or in many cases, more than what we were even asking, because more than one person wanted the house and had the additional drive. So what will you be willing to give up? And must be selling the lifestyle. That's your job for the seller. We need to have better videos. We need to have better photos. We need to have all of the little ticky-tack things that also about what type of lifestyle is the one type of person that we're dealing with, and keeping in mind who they are. The house needs to be crystal clean. We need a stager. We need to maybe change colors if it's needed. And we need to get all things that we think would be a distraction. We want to get all of that out of the house. To get that and replace or repair the things that we think that are going to be most important to our client, so that by spending that additional effort and that additional money, we're going to get more as a return than any of the time that you spent and they spent and the money that they spent. And I know this is tough love, but this is where we are. And some of us may not be prepared to do this yet. And maybe practicing with some of our people, maybe that's the best way to do this. Because right now, if what we're being told is not going to be getting better, we want to be able to know everything. And last but not least, let's make sure that you have all the details and ticky-tack stuff about the community that's appropriate, because we are selling that too. And that will be, statistically speaking, getting them to fall in love with the community and exactly where the house is going to, should be able to generate an additional 2 to 3% on top of what most people were willing to pay in the beginning. So what we want you to think about, and I want you to think about coming to our class next week, because what we'll be doing is, I'm going to be a coach to go through a whole lot of things to be able to play for you and to get the right attitude, and also getting committed to have 7 different types of tools that we want you to go after to be able to put you in a much, much better place than you are now. And so I hope this has been helpful for you. We have some other things that are going to be included with this, and so we'll just stop right now, because I know I'm already over by about 6 or 7 minutes, and so I apologize for that. But I hope this has been a benefit.
Thank you so much, G. Wendy, do we have any questions?
No, not at the moment, Aquino.
Okay, if anyone has any questions, please put them in the Q&A and we'll try to address it. If not, we can ask G we'll send you the questions, G, and if we can get answers.
Yes, yeah, you do that, and I'll do my level best to get back to them as fast as I can.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, G, and your wisdom. And
thank you.
What you said just triggered something. I love quotes too, so I took screenshots of your quotes. And one quote that I do love is living every day with an attitude of gratitude. So like you said, attitude is everything, and having gratitude will change it.
It really will. And that is great. That's so right. That is so right.
Thank you again.
That's
G.
why you're the president.
Thank you, G. Really, really. I
Thank
look
you.
forward to
And
seeing
if
you
you'll
next week.
tell, Crystal, there's some other slides that we didn't
We'll
get
be
to,
sending.
because so make sure that what she wants, and she can cut it off wherever she wants
Okay.
for
Yeah.
you all. Okay.
Thank you, G.
Okay. All right. Thanks,
Thank you.
Crystal. And I hope to see some of you on Thursday and Friday of next week,
Yes.
if possible. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Aloha.
Thank you, G. Okay, so everyone, please stay on. We have a few chapter updates that I would like to share. First, we'll show this video from our president.
I am Holly Woodward from Owasso, Oklahoma, and I am your 2022 Residential Real Estate Council President.
Hi, I'm Pam Ruggiero from Tucson, Arizona, your president-elect for 2022.
Hi, my name is Lana Vukoviak. I'm Chief Executive Officer with RRC, and we are headquartered in Chicago.
I'm Alex Milstein from Ann Arbor, Michigan, and I'm the 2022 Immediate Past President.
Aloha, my name is Trishine Kota. I'm from Honolulu, Hawaii, and I'm your first Vice President.
My contribution is growth for council because I want every CRS to sit across the table from another CRS.
I want to bring value to our members. I want our members to have what they want and need to succeed in real estate.
Continue with our broker initiative solution. This is a service that includes education, consulting, and many resources for brokers that are out there that are in need for growth and for expansion.
So new members, get out there, attend our conferences, attend our meetings.
Take advantage of the good education that RRC has to offer you in your state and also on the national level as well.
Get involved on your local, state, and national level. It's the best thing I've ever done for my career.
The relationships that I have made and built in this amazing council are unsurpassed. Some of my very best friends on this planet have come as a result of my involvement in RRC. So I would say get involved.
I'm a lifelong learner, so learn by attending courses, classes, learn from your peers, attend conferences, and never stop growing. The minute you stop learning, you stop growing.
So for my personal growth, what I do is I try to work out almost every single day.
I listen to podcasts, motivational webinars, and I love to read books on leadership.
I think that we're going to look forward to more togetherness, being able to see each other more.
We are going to be even stronger and better than we have been before, and we are going to get back out into the world and be able to meet people face to face and all be together again.
I believe it's going to be interesting because we're turning a new leaf and our world is going to change, but I think it's actually going to change for the better. So I'm looking forward to 2022.
I have tremendous hope for 2022, and I look forward to seeing y'all at mid-year. I look forward to seeing you at Celebration, and I look forward to seeing you next year at National.
Thank you so much. Please stay on because I would like to share our chapter update. I know people are like, thank you, G, thank you, and people are starting to leave. So a quick update on what is in Hawaii and what we have in store. So we've got about 70 participants right now. Some of you are already CRS members and designees, some of you are not. But the first and foremost, anyone can take these courses. It would be beneficial if you became a member because it will be at a discounted price. So the one that G was talking about coming up next week, Thursday and Friday, is 7 things successful agents do differently. And the great thing about this one is it's CE approved, so it works towards your CE designation. And if you're working towards your CRS, you get your CRS credits too. So you get both. We also have, 4 more courses lined up. They're all virtual for this year. We've got our top instructors in doing these for us. They are over the course of 2 days from like 8 to 12, because it's usually a 1-day in-person session, but we've split it into 2. So you don't have to sit in front of a Zoom screen for 8 hours. Instead, it's 4 hours a day. Next, going on, we have our book club. This is spearheaded by our past president and our current regional director, Arlene Kim Kawamoto, who oversees California and Hawaii. Next month, she will be doing Beyond the Lines, written by Rusty Komori. And if you are interested, Crystal has dropped the link. If you can email crs@hawaii.com, she will send you the invitation to the book club. Next, we have the celebration. This is our national conference. This is what gets me excited. For me, this was a game changer. I attended my first celebration in 2017, and I came back re-energized. They will talk about systems, marketing, IT, and everything in between, and relationships. So if you use Trisha22 for the code, you get $50 off the celebration registration, and it is in Phoenix, Arizona from March 4th through the 6th. I will be there. Trisha will be there. Arlene will be there. And Trisha, as most of you know, is our past state president, and she is our current first vice president. She will be the national president in 2024, representing Hawaii. I believe she's going to be our second president serving at the national level. So congratulations, Trisha. Thank you. Okay, so please, if you are not a CRS member or designee yet, we have a membership discount code. It's HIRC22. Normally, membership dues are $195 per year. We have a 50% off discount with this code. It makes it $97.50. So how do you become a CRS? First and foremost, join RRC by going to www.crs.com, review the requirements, complete the required education production, and then submit your designation. So first, become a member, and then take advantage of all our courses. Like I said, for members, you get a discount on our courses as well, and you get access to free webinars as well. And did you know that only 3% of the nation's realtors and only 1% of Hawaii realtors have earned their CRS? So it is the creme of the creme. Please join us to become CRS. We've got Shannon Heaven, who is a CRS, and she was our chapter president back in 2014 too. She's now serving leadership at HBR. So like they were saying, Lana was saying, it broadens your horizons to serve and grow as a person as well. So please join me in becoming a member today. And for those who are members, Crystal, if we can move on to the next slide. If you're a member or a designee who has let your membership lapse, then right now, we don't have any reinstatement fees. And so you just go to crs.com or call them and they will reinstate it for you. And thank you so much for the reminder, Crystal. Last week, for the people who want to know more in detail how to get their designation, we did a pathway course, and Crystal did drop the link right now. So you can view the recording there, or please feel free to reach out to myself or Crystal and we will send you the recording. Or if you're more of a people person, which I am, I'm more than happy to meet with you face-to-face on a Zoom or in person over coffee, and to share my CRS pathway and to guide you get your designation as well. Thank you so much for your time. That's all from me. Thanking our sponsors. We had Oscar Libid of Home Inspect Hawaii, and we had Tim O'Leary from Guaranteed Rate, and we had G. Dunsten, our speaker for next week. And we had Crystal Bisay and Wendy Brown in the background helping us navigate all this. Thank you all for your time. Mahalo. Thank you.